Hi everyone, welcome to SAJI'S Academy for Ielts and OET online training. I am Saji Agustin here with a warm greetings to all of you. In today's video, I am going to present the most simple way to understand the IELTS listening test. Before proceeding further, I request you to watch, like, share and subscribe my channel. And for online training, you can reach us at the contact details is given on the page here. Now, let's move on to today's topic, IELTS listening test simplified. An overview of the today's presentation would be, you would begin with the IELTS listening and overview, then followed by the structure, then duration of the test, difficulty level, tips and some model is a model answer sheet. We proceed further with the conditions of answering, then types of questions, very important portion indeed. Then fundamental skills required for listening. There are certain skills you need to develop or possess in order to do it well. Then we would end with a conclusion. So all of you are welcome to this presentation. Let's begin. International English Language Testing System, commonly known as IELTS, has 4 modules, as I mentioned in the other videos. The test normally begins with listening and proceeds to reading, writing and speaking. Scoring a high band in listening can be very easy and simple if you understand the listening test properly. A good number of my students scores 8+ in listening and find this test as easily manageable with a constant training. So this video is a kind of roadmap to help you to understand the listening test in a simple manner. So watch the video fully, like, subscribe and share the video with your friends and family. You can also embed the video in your own YouTube channel and other social media applications. Now, let's begin with this IELTS listening test simplified with its structure of the test. Let's look at the preliminary information given here. It has 4 parts and a total of 40 questions. So IELTS listening test is structured into or divided into 4 different parts. In olden books, if you go through, you will find different 4 sections indeed. Each parts contain 10 questions each. And you need to mark your answers on the question booklet. The track is normally played only once. So you need to be careful with this, information. Now coming to the structure and explanation on different parts of this test. Part 1. Question number 1 to 10. What can you hear in this area? It can be a telephonic conversation normally, or a face-to-face conversation can also be a telephonic conversation between 2 persons on an everyday life situation. For example, a customer telephoning to a hotel for accommodation. Imagine if it is a face-to-face conversation, then a person directly visiting the reception of a hotel and engage in a conversation regarding the accommodation possibilities, the fares, and so on. Now, this is explained in part 1. And what is there in part 2? Part 2, question number from 11 to 20. It's a monologue based on a social situation. Mono means one, logos means a speech. So monologue would mean a single person narrating something. For example, a guide narrating about the things to be taken care of while visiting a park or a museum. In part 3, you can go question number 21 to 30. Here we can see a conversation between 2 to 4 persons in an academic context. Normally, 2 students and a lecturer discussing about different things pertaining to their studies of studies or academic work. This is what you can see in is in part 3. Then coming to the last part, question number 31 to 40. It is an academic lecturing on a specific is a topic by a professor. Normally, it is a lengthy narration. So this is the general explanation of different parts of IELTS listening test. Is part 1, part 2, part 3, and part 4. Now let's go with the narrations and pauses in this listening test. Look at here narrations. The audio track is narrated by a narrator throughout is guiding through the test. It would really help you to place yourself in the test. For example, part 1 questions is 1 to 10. Normally you can listen to the narrator in this format. Now you will hear a telephonic conversation between a student and the receptionist at Milton Recruitment Agency. So this is the normal way they start narrating, and the narrator would in fact guide you through the test. So if you follow keenly the words is narrated by the narrator, then you can place yourself well in the listening test. Again, there would be some pauses. Very, very important is a thing to note. Pauses. What is the function of the pauses? Pauses are used in the entire track to help the candidates to read the question, check the answers, and transfer the answers to the answer sheet at the end. For example, you will hear narrations like, now you have some time to look at the questions 1 to 5. And now you have some time to check your answers 1 to 10. What is the purpose of this one? The purpose of pauses would really give you ample time to skim and go through the questions in advance ahead of the track is played. Then once you complete question number 1 to 10, these pauses also help you to check your answers. Now part 4 does not have a break in the middle. That is a noticeable thing. For example, once the question number reaches 35, there is no pause. Instead, unlike the other part 4 is narrated continuously from the question number 31 to 40. So please pay attention to these 3 different things. First of all, narrations, and pauses, as well as the continuity or a continuous narration in part 4. Well, now let's have a look at the duration of the test. Duration total 40 minutes, and it is divided into 2 parts. First 30 minutes for listening the track and mark your answers on the question booklet. So in the first part, you just listen to the track carefully and mark your answers. Remember, it is marking, not writing legibly, neatly, or wonderfully. No, you just mark or note down the possible answers in the on the question booklet. If you decide if you decide to write neatly the answers instead of marking, you may not you may miss the other questions answer to the other questions. So be careful with this marking the answers on the question booklet. Then last 30 minutes are reserved for transferring your answers to the answer sheet. So 10 minutes are more than enough for you to transfer your answers onto the answer sheet. Well, now there are some tips for when you transfer your answers to the answer sheet. Use capital letter to write your answers. Only capital letters. Why? Because it is easy for the examiners or the evaluators or the clerks to read your answer. There is no confusion regarding the letters used. And just think if there is a confusion or the reader is confused about what you have written, especially you have written something like E. In fact, the evaluator reads identifies the letter as I, then definitely you are the loser, you lose the mark for that particular question. Therefore, this capitalizing would really help you to manage it has got a number of benefits. Not only is a readability, but also in case of proper nouns and all, you need to capitalize the first letter. Sometimes we miss it out. So those kind of dangers can be easily overcome with the constant use of capital letters throughout so in the answer sheet. Also use a pencil to write your answers, as the correction would be much easier for you. In case you think that, okay, instead of alphabet, is a letter A, I need to go with the letter B. You can do it easily if you use a pencil. The answer sheet normally contains a limited space for writing the answers. Look at the model answer sheet below. Therefore, it's very important that you use pencils in order to answer write your answers. Let's have a look at this model answer sheet. Initially, you will have here some candidate's name, then candidate number, sender number, the test details, the date, a month and year. Then look at the space available. It's a very minimum space in in fact, so very little space. Imagine if you use the pen, it would be very difficult for you to correct the answers. For example, you want to change a word, it would be there won't be practically there won't be enough space for you to write again. So better is always use pencils so that you can rub it out. If you want to correct the answer, then keep on writing. So pay attention to this answer sheet format or model. Now let's move on to the difficulty level. And then the experience of most of the candidates will be the difficult part is definitely part 3, wherein you have to face or you have to listen to a number of or a conversation between a number of students and a professor normally. Okay, and you have to switch your ears or listening from one person to other person, and you need to keenly follow what do they speak or the purpose or intention of their conversation. And the most difficult type of question for most of the students or many students would be multiple choice questions, especially in part 3. The reason simply is first of all, part 3 itself may appear to be little difficult because of the number of persons involved in the conversation or involved in the track. Moreover, very often the multiple choice MCQs appear in part 3 and their options are normally rather lengthy. So that really makes this particular type of questions or MCQs in part 3 very difficult type of questions. And remember, if you are expert in multiple choice questions, you are going to score maybe 35 plus or 8 plus band. Okay, therefore be well versed with this multiple choice questions in any format, whether they are simple or harder. You need to be expert in this part in multiple choice questions. Now let's proceed to condition for answering. So there are 3 different conditions for answering that I would like to share with you. First of all, you need to write one word. For example, communication. The word is only one word. Your answer need to be one word. Or else your answer can be one word and or a number. For example, 25 days. So if you want to make 2 things. So you need to write 25 days. But that is an ideal thing. So it matches with one word and a number, or a number itself. For example, 10:30 in the morning, if there is a time you need to mark, or maybe it's 4 p.m. in the afternoon, something like that. So the first condition may be write one word and or a number, and you need to know exactly what does it mean. One word, just one word and a number. For example, 25 days, or a number itself, so 10:30 in the morning. Or regarding its currencies, maybe it's 10 pounds or 10 or 5 pounds and 5.25 pounds, another example. And second condition would be choose the correct letter. For example, you need to choose the correct letter A, B or C, or choose 2 letters from the letter option A to E. So this is another condition for answering. And the third one will be write one word only. For example, mostly you will find these kind of questions in part 4 You will find this type of questions. Is one word, for example, birds can be one word. One word can be either singular or plural depending on the context. Secondly, is no more than two words. So it would mean you need to write either one word or two words. Both is options may be there. You need to decide depending on the context again. And the third is the option would be no more than three words. It means your answer can be is one word, two words, or even three words depending on the context. So you need to exactly understand the context and pay special attention to the is the instruction is given in the question booklet, and based on that you need to decide whether you need to choose one word or one word and a number, or a number itself, or you need to choose the correct letters from letter options A, B, or C, or you need to choose two letters from the letter options A to E. So pay attention to the instructions given in the question booklet. Coming to types of questions, very important things. You need to understand what are the different types of questions that you can expect in IELTS listening test. First of all, is a completion task, normally known as filling the blanks questions. Here you can the first type would be notes completion. So information would be given in the note format, and a question number would be normally placed in the notes, either in the beginning or in the middle or at the end. There would be a question number placed, and your task is to fill in the blanks. And how to do it? Very interestingly, you need to mark or underline the keywords, pay attention to the keywords. Then you have to listen to the track carefully. Then you need to identify the right answer. Then another type would be form completion. So in the question booklet, there would be some kind of forms would be given, and you need to fill in the forms. So filling the blanks of the forms available. For example, a registration form, you need to fill it. So the in the narration, you need to identify what are the information you're supposed to use for filling this form. Then you just make your answer. Then table completion, followed by flow chart or flow chart completion, or even summary completion, or sentence completion, completion. These are the 6 different types of completion or filling the blanks questions you can expect in IELTS listening test. Now, if someone wants more tips and all, kindly communicate with me through my WhatsApp through my WhatsApp number. Now, coming to the next type of question, that is multiple choice questions. As I mentioned before, very important type of questions. So let's see, there are mainly two different types of MCQs. First one, you have to face one question and 3 options. Here you need to choose the correct letter A, B, or C. For example, look at the narration here, questions 11 to 14. Choose the correct letter A, B, or C. Question number 11. According to the speaker, the company, then 3 options. A, has been in business for longer than most of its competitors. Or B, arranges holidays to more destinations than its competitors. C, has more customers than its competitors. Now, what is the thing? When you have to do this type of questions, you need to pay attention to the keywords. So, for example, according to the speaker, pay attention to this one. The company is focusing on one of these options. However, there is a probability that the narrator would mention I think all these 3 options. However, you need to identify on what the company pays its attention, whether it has been in business for longer than most of its competitors, or arranges holidays. So the company arranges holidays to more destinations than its competitors, or even the company has more customers than its competitors. So what does the writer in the narrator intends here? So identify your answer. Then just write your answer as choose the correct letter, A, B, or C. Now coming to the next one, the next type of MCQs would be 1 question and 5 options. And you need to choose 2 letters from letter options A, B, C, D, and E. Example, questions 29 to 30. Choose 2 letters A to E. which two experiences, so you look at this as two experiences. So your duty is to identify two experiences of sibling rivalry do speakers agree has been valuable for them. So definitely it comes from part is a three narration, because the speak is related with some academic is a content. Now you see the is a question here, which two experiences of sibling rivalry do speakers agree has been valuable for them. So what you need to guess here? Please remember that the speakers would engage into a conversation wherein they would include topics that they agree, also they disagree, also they reject. So now from all those type of information, you need to identify on what are the two aspects or two areas of this particular incident that they agree. Identify only those elements and choose your letters from A to E. So first option we say learning to share, or learning to stand up for oneself, or learning to be a good loser, or learning to be tolerant, or learning to say sorry. So what are the two qualities that the speakers to agree here? You need to identify, and you need to write down or note down the correct letters, two letters you need to choose. Well, let's move on to the next type of question. This is matching questions. This is a little tricky for some students, especially at the beginning. Later, it would be okay if you have if you develop a kind of idea. Some method of solving this type of questions. They are basically matching questions. So, what do you need to do here in this matching questions? So, for example, questions 21 to 26. What did findings of previous research is a claim about the personality traits a child is likely to have because of her position in the family? So this is the is a question. You need to pay attention to the keywords here. What is the findings is about of previous research? Research claim about the personality traits a child is likely to have because of their position in the family. Position in the family is given below. Now choose 6 answers from the box and write the correct letter A to H. So you have to match the information given in the question with the corresponding is the letter. Whether is the eldest child, the personality traits is in the next column. Is whether it's matching with outgoing or selfish or independent, attention seeking, introverted, cooperative, caring, competitive. So you need to is pay attention to the personality traits, and you need to identify what do the speakers mention or specifically speaks about the a child's position and the personality traits. And in the common experience, I would say, even though it is not a general rule, the answer to this initial questions can be found maybe after C normally. Okay, but remember, it is not a common rule. I just tell you, in many a good number of cases it would be like that. You can expect options from C, D, E, F, G, H instead of 1 and 2. The first answer, I don't remember such instances of getting those 21 eldest child is matching to is option number A. Just however, from C onwards, pay special attention. Still you need to pay attention to, you need to read this outgoing A and B as well. Okay, so that's the thing. So similarly, other questions, say middle child, what is the characteristics or personality trait of that child? Or the youngest child in the family, what is the personality traits of that particular? Or a twin, or an only child, a child with much older siblings, maybe siblings with difference in age. For example, the first child may be of 25 years old, whereas the second child would be just 1 or 2 years old. So what happens, or what would be the personality traits such a type of children or child develops in the family? So identify your answer from the listening track and choose the correct letters here. There is matching questions. Well, it's very important type of question. Please learn and get well versed with this type of question. Going to the next one, is a plan, map, or diagram labeling. In fact, very easy question. when I prepared for my IELTS many years back. I prepared well this question, and I expected that if it comes, I could score full marks for this part, because I was rather okay with this this type of question. In fact, unfortunately, I didn't get this type of question. It was a unfortunate event. I actually wish to have this one because of the guarantee of the answer. I was completely confident that I could sort out this type of manage this type of question. However, remember, if you practice very well, this type of questions would be very easy. Let's have a look at it. Plan, map, diagram, labeling. In this type of question, the candidate is asked to match the list of places to their locations. It's very simple. So you can find locations A to I in the diagram, in the map here. For example, questions 11 to 15. Label the map below, write the correct letter A to I next to the questions 11 to 15. So actually, what do we do here? Here you see, we have some places. For example, statue of Diana Gosforth. It is placed somewhere, and in what place in the map it is located. You need to identify the location actually. Okay, now in order to do that one, and just before that, look at the question number 12. Wooden sculptures or playground, where it is located, or maze, where it is located, or tennis courts, where it is located, or a fitness area, where it is located. And it's very simple. You need to identify the directions here. First, you look at here is a north side is on top, is there is an arrow mark, and north written here, it's a north. And you have got it's west gate, east gate, and in fact there there is a south gate below. At the bottom of the map. And you just this type of questions, you need to identify the information available in the map or diagram. Then you have to pay attention to the order of letters given. So it's A, B, C. Then where comes the D? So interestingly, D is found only here. So look at the position of D. D is quite just opposite of just C. Is towards the west of the lily pond. Is lily pond. So pay attention to this order: D, E, F. Then after F, look at the position of G, G, H, I. So you need to pay attention to these the locations of A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. Then as the narration goes on, you need to place these things. So they would narrate these things. It's about a statue of Diana Gosforth, where it is. So when the narrator begins their narration, you just move your pencil or your mind along with the narration. Go like this. So what is the information narrated? Then identify which letter matches with the stands as an answer to this particular question in the narration, and select whether it is E or D or G. We do not know. Just you need to identify from the narration and write the correct letter here. If it is G, just write G. Mark it here. Then later in the question number 11, you need to mark G. Remember, there are specific tips for sorting out this type of questions. Yeah, you can again contact me through WhatsApp for further support or training. Well, let's move on to the next type of question. That's sorry, it's not next type of question. It's a fundamental skills required for listening. And you need to have some kind of basic skills for doing a listening test very well. What are they? First of all, skimming. Why skimming? See, you might have noticed, or you will notice an instruction by the narrator. What is that? Now you have some time to look at the questions 1 to 5, or 6 to 10, or 11 to 16, or 21 to 26. Now, what is the time for? Actually, here you need to take out your skimming skills. This particular time is intended to allows the candidate to read quickly the information available and identify the keywords, and you need to guess or imagine what would be the answers. So this skimming time really help you to place yourself with the question and type of question as well as the type of narration that you can expect in the track. So do it very well. If you are well versed in skimming, you will never make errors. So it's the skimming is very important. It's quick reading or fast reading skill is very important. The second is important skill that you need is comprehension. So comprehension skill would mean what? So you must be able to identify the facts or information that you need. So so once you skim the passage, or the question booklet, you need to understand so what sort of facts or information you need to identify. Then once you listen to the track, listen carefully to the track and identify, oh, this is type of information I need here for this as an answer to this particular type of question. So you need to have such a you need to develop such a type of comprehension skills. Thirdly, you need to pay attention to this paraphrasing, parallel wording, and never expect direct answers in most of the questions. They would definitely paraphrase the information. For example, in the question they would say that in the beach there should be no dash, and in the track they would be telling and it is expected that there is and the beach should be or must be free of litter. So the beach should not contain dash. What is that litter? Litter means is waste, or is a litter. Is not a waste. Actually, your answer is a litter. Free of litter means no litter, and it's L-I-T-T-E-R, litter. So you have to expect paraphrasing very much in the listening test. Okay, and finally, is you need to develop a kind of concentration, complete focusing and attention to the track. Imagine while listening to the track, you just remember about your the most beautiful song that you like. Then definitely one or two question answer to one or two question is lost. So you cannot divert your attention. You need to concentrate completely, and if you have the habit of diverting or easily losing your attention, you need to come back and you need to train yourself to concentrate for a long time. Especially this works perfectly in part 4. Part 4 is a long narration in an academic context. Therein a person, a lecturer narrating things, you need to, because the narration normally or lecturing normally would be lengthy. So you need to keep your eyes on the questions and the available information in that part, and complete focus. That would really help you to score all answers, 31 to 40, all 10 questions correctly. So these are the fundamental skills that you need: skimming, comprehension, paraphrasing, and concentration or attention to the details. And you see, there are so many things we need to take care of if you really want to score a 7 plus or 8 plus or even 8.5 plus or even completely 9 band in Ielts listening test. I hope that this session is really useful for all of you, or those who are preparing for Ielts listening test. And remember to follow and make use of the tips given in this video. I also request you to watch the video completely, like, share, and subscribe the video. And if anyone requires specialized training, contact our online. It's an online academy. It's not it's a physical academy. It's an online academy. So contact us in the details given. Back to you with a new video soon. Thank you.